Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
That's all right. I'm gonna make it, I think, maybe. I get to
Yes.
go shoot at things for a couple of hours tomorrow, so I think that'll work.
Oh, that'll be great.
Except I'm doing it with like six children. Not just me. I'm not the only adult. We have an even ratio, but still.
Yeah, let's keep them things pointed down range.
Yes. I mean, it's a fact of living in Alabama that some of the children know more than some of the adults, but
Well, yeah.
still. As long as we got out of there with everybody's limbs and everything intact and all the blood still in their bodies, and I'm good.
In the book. I see.
In, not just on,
Okay.
in.
Yeah, that's a lofty
I
goal.
know, my standards are high. But I am confident we can manage. And then the day after, that's for my turning 13-year-old birthday, and then my
Oh,
Thanksgiving
yes, the budding
birthday.
collector.
Yes, and then my mother's memorial on Friday, and then maybe after that I get to breathe. Shit, and I didn't even write up anything that I was going to write up today about that. Oh
Ab-
well.
About what? The,
I'm trying to write up some kind of remarks to
at the,
say at her memorial.
oh, that's tough, huh?
Yeah, because I don't even know. Like, I know what I like to hear, but I don't know if my stories are more about me than about her. And, like, I don't want to be
That's
all self
yes,
centered.
yes, do that. Do exactly that. I'm
Do
serious.
what?
Do
Tell the stories?
yes. Tell,
Yeah.
tell
Well, I
this,
want to tell the stories, but I want to make sure I'm telling stories about her, not me.
but
You know?
she's in them, right? And it
Yes.
reveals
Well,
things
yes.
about her, right?
Yes.
The best stories are the ones that you're in also.
Yeah. Oh,
Nobody
I
likes to
tell those
hear
stories.
you know,
Yeah. This
curriculum
girl told this
vitae
guy who told me that, yeah.
or she was born blah 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 here and there and then she went to school.
Right.
Nobody wants the
Yeah.
resume. They want
Right.
stories.
Maybe I'll send you whatever I come up with because I keep thinking
Oh,
of
stop it.
stories. Well, what?
There you go thinking again. You know where that leads.
No, we're good. I have to make some kind of notes or I'll forget something and then I'll be like, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
just some
yeah.
3x5 cards just to keep you on track.
Yeah.
And then you put the red one in there somewhere. It says, "If you get this far, you're talking too much."
I love it. It's so smart. Where it's like, you have now told 10 stories. Get off the fucking stage. What the hell was that? Oh, shoot. Okay. So can we talk about the podcast, our
Sure.
best podcast?
Yeah.
All right. So I really like Grace and SK Save the World.
The
Kelly
title?
was like, I don't know. Yeah. Kelly was like, I don't know if that's really like what you're doing there. I'm like, it's ironic. Shut up.
Exactly. You got it right off.
Yeah. I was like, can't you tell by the middle finger? We're all going down together. That's what's really happening.
Good. I'm glad you like
So,
that.
yeah, I do very much.
And I think talking about dating is a great way to start.
I think it is. I think so. Although I think we may end up back on our own side by the end of it.
It's quite
You're like, wait,
possible.
no. Yes. I really do have this much worse than you. So,
I was looking at my records, so to speak,
yeah.
my lists, and I have dated over 40 women since my divorce.
You literally just stopped me in my tracks in the middle of my apartment. I'm like frozen in place in terror. My reptile brain is like, where the fuck are we gonna hide? Holy shit. Wait, how long have you been divorced?
6 months. No.
Really? Come on. I'm starting to flush. Tell me really how long. It's been like 3-4 years, right?
Yeah, 4 years.
Okay. That's still almost one a month.
But I have most of that time I haven't been actively dating.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do you qualify as dating? Is dating just you've taken 40 women out on dates?
Yes,
Or this is these, okay, so some of these could be one-offs.
most of them are.
Okay, that's reasonable. Okay, I'm breathing.
Okay, so I looked at it, and about 10 of them had more than one date,
Okay, yeah.
and most of those were still only two.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I mean, I think that's reasonable.
two or three,
This
we'll
is
say.
going to maybe sound snobby, but usually I
What
can
a
tell
surprise!
usually I can tell after, an hour at the most, whether or not I want to continue trying to, like, am I trying to make conversation with this person? Like,
Hmm.
is it an effort? If so, then, if all we've got in us is an hour, mm. So I can see that. But I can see it taking longer. What?
See,
What?
see, I've had this conversation before.
Oh,
Um,
about women being too demanding for
well, let me
write-offs?
let me call it leaping to conclusions.
Well, let me start by saying that this is actually was the basis for a little while of my ex-husband and I breaking up because he said that he didn't feel any immediate, he called it a foom shwoom. And he said because he did not feel any immediate foom shwoom
What the
for me,
fuck
like
is that?
because it took a
What is that? What
while
is
for
that
us
word?
to go. It's a made-up word. He's an idiot. No, don't record that. Shit. Fuck.
Dun dun dun.
You better edit, motherfucker. But anyway, that because we hadn't had that immediate, like oomph, that he
Spark.
was like, yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm not looking for even necessarily like a spark. From my perspective, it was like, but I like talking to you. We have a lot to talk about. I enjoy your company. So
Hmm.
I can tell relatively quickly if I'm going to enjoy somebody's company. Um,
Okay.
but that even that isn't always accurate because everybody has a bad day. But
Right. And and this was my point, um,
hmm
was that you can be wrong.
yes,
Now, the only chance you ever get to find out, typically, I mean, and I'm talking about like online dating, not somebody you meet in
yeah,
the world where you're likely to interact with them some more.
right.
But in the online dating world, you
hmm
get to be wrong about saying yes to them, but you'll never know if you're wrong about saying no.
Oh, true. Well, and I should make my caveat of when I say I know pretty quickly if I want to interact with somebody, I mean face to face. I don't
Well,
mean I
yeah,
can tell in an hour
no,
offline, but yes.
but I mean, yes, I meant
Okay.
an hour face to
Okay.
face of someone
Yeah.
you met online.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you meet
Well,
over coffee or drinks, and then after an
yeah.
hour, most of the time, one or the other says no, and will never find out if you were wrong about saying no.
Don't you have
And that's a pretty damn important decision, I think, to make what is essentially a snap judgment.
I don't think it's a snap. I don't think speed necessarily denotes snap judgment. I think it can also be just listening to your instinct, to your intuition.
Yeah,
Your
and
body knows. Your
sometimes the instincts are, oh, he reminds me of that one guy,
well, sure. But here,
and
so I
has
was just
although he has
reading.
nothing to do, the guy sitting across from you is not that guy.
Yeah, of course. But okay, so I was just reading just now, like literally when I was talking, when you were texting me, an anthropological study talking about how they can study intuition. And it's not something that is, really easy to classify scientifically, but what they've done is studies on the body and how it reacts. And that
Well, yeah.
your,
Have you
yeah, but
read
that
Have you
your,
read the book? Oh crap, Blink talks a lot about this.
okay.
Yeah, it's great.
The like the Iowa card study and stuff like that, where that the body knows
Yeah,
danger and that the deck is stacked against you and stuff like that
it,
before
and
your
the
logical brain knows.
emotion is the only way the unconscious has to communicate to the conscious brain.
Well, what this thing was talking about was actually that we have in our guts, like, literally when you talk about listening to your gut,
Yeah.
we have in our gut the same exact brain cells that are in our brains.
What?
So that whole, yes, that we have neurons in our guts that are exactly the same as the ones in our brains. And so when we talk about listening to your gut, it's actually listening to those same brain cells, and that you can get that physical feeling of unwell, when your body just says, this isn't right, this isn't right, this isn't right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
There's some great stories. If you haven't read the book Drive, I'm sorry, Blink.
Blink.
Also Drive is good also.
I'm
But
glad I'm listening.
Blink is a terrific book on intuition.
Okay, cool. I have seen it, but I've never read it.
Yeah.
Um,
And it talks about
yeah,
how the unconscious brain has all this information
yeah,
at its disposal, and it tries to send you signals.
yeah.
Yo, dude.
So why should we not? I mean, you're talking about potentially overriding that unconscious brain in an effort to give somebody a second chance and a third chance and stuff. Oh my gosh, is somebody invading your house?
Yes, the doorbell.
Oh God.
All
Stop
right.
it. Make it stop. The evil is coming in.
I'm going to mute you for a second.
Okay.
And that's just so much bullshit. Oh, wait, what were we talking about?
That's just your natural reaction to anything. Um, um, but no, so the idea though that, I mean, what if you say that you'll never know, but what if you just knew? What if you already knew?
Well, I mean, I'm talking more about the cases. Sometimes things are just really they're just not going to work, right?
Right.
And that I'm not talking about those kinds of cases. More about the on the fence kind of.
Okay, so let me tell you this. This is a good example of your side, because when I met Kelly, my best friend in all
Yeah,
the world,
yeah.
I thought she was kind of stuck up. And because she didn't talk much, and she was sitting over in a corner, and like she was probably just tired,
Right.
or she might
Right.
have had allergies and been sick or something. But the first day I met her, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what to make of this woman, and she doesn't look like she's very much fun, and like I had all of these judgments I made about her, and it wasn't until like months later that it just so happened that our kids were both in the same gymnastics class, and we were sitting out there, that we started talking. But yeah, I mean, in that case, I was absolutely wrong. And, had I been on a date with her
Mm-hmm.
and had that experience, then yeah, I would have missed one of my best friends.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. This is one of my.
And you have it on fucking tape that I just admitted you were right.
Oh.
So let's not get into how much you owe me now.
Hey, look, the scorecard, the score is still you're way in the lead, so you can be generous about one.
All right.
I think. Can you?
I'm gonna try my best to manage. All right, right now I'm just gonna try to manage to get out the door. I think I have all my shit.
So what do you mean closing? On the
Closing
house?
what?
You said closing in your text. You said you were at, right. The same text that said,
Oh,
do
that
you?
my window was closing. Oh,
Ah,
because I'm about to leave my apartment. I need to go get Nigel's last birthday present and get my butt back home. It's my week with the kids today. Corey had them. Oh my God, my 9mm is really heavy with flood ammunition. Well, it is.
your 9mm is hitting you where?
No, I said it's really heavy. I have a bag with my
Oh yeah,
gun case and all my ammo and everything.
them's heavy.
It's hefty. Yes,
Well, the ammo's really heavy.
it is. It really is. Like, it's a lot that I have. My dad buys it in bulk online.
He
I
doesn't
feel
make
so
it.
bad for the UPS guy, right? I know. I
What
didn't
the?
even know you could do that until I started researching for my book.
Reloading's kind
Found
of
out.
kind of a zen thing, you know.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, you have to fucking do it.
And you gotta pay attention,
I
or you
don't
end
want to
up,
put them in backwards.
doing what I did one time. I didn't have a
Which,
years ago when I was a teenager and I was first learning how, and it didn't have like a. It was just all manual, pretty much, except for the press. And
yeah.
so I was pouring the powder by hand into each of the
Oh, wow.
shells, and I missed one.
Oh.
So all it had was the percussion cap and a slug,
Oh my God. Like,
and it fired and went and it stuck right in the flash gap of the
oh,
357.
oh my God. Oh.
So don't ever do that. Professional tip there. Pay attention and don't double load them either. That's equally bad.
Yeah, it's a big boom, Dad. Oh,
Big
no,
bada
so
boom.
when you said that, big bada boom, yeah. Um, no, when you said that, I thought you meant like you can melt them down. You can actually there's a metal called linotype that was, used to be used for printing presses.
Lead, right?
And,
A kind of
yeah,
lead-ish.
yeah, lead, mixture, but
Hmm.
containing lead and, as it turns out, antimony, which is one of the metals that is, or not metals, materials. It's actually
Antipathy. No
non-radioactive.
wonder bullets kill.
Antimony.
Oh, alimony. Right. Makes you broke.
Oh my God.
Where do you
So
get this
funny. I
stuff?
just don't know where. You can buy you can buy linotype online, and then you melt it down and you cast it into bullet shape.
Yeah.
And it's really cheap, and that's a good way. Like if you do a lot of target shooting, spend all
Yeah.
the money on ammo. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I haven't done any casting
yeah.
of bullets. I've cast aspersions.
I've cast doubts.
I've cast doubt.
Might have even cast a couple of spells here or there.
Definitely shadows, but
Oh, yeah. So, anyway,
okay.
how the
Well,
hell are we going to stay on one topic?
not.
We just won't expect to. We just may have to
No.
give ourselves a few points of, okay, we've now drifted. Come back and we'll start over here.
Well, yeah. Isn't that how
Yeah,
conversations work?
it is.
Unless you're that guy with, unless you're James Lipton and you sit with a 4-foot stack of cards with one sentence each on them.
I love James Lipton. I love his. So, what is your favorite curse word?
Mine? For
Yeah,
real?
that was one of his ending questions. It
That's
was
right.
actually from a French dude, but yeah.
Favorite curse word. Favorite curse word. Um, uh, probably fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eh,
Mine is motherfucker, but it's this particular way that Judy Davis says it.
oh, tell me.
She's like,
Can you say it
she,
like her?
I don't know if I can do it like she does it. She's British, but she was doing it with an American accent, and she just sort of said it out like, motherfucker. And I don't, it was just beautiful. Like, she sort of shook her head while she said it. I don't know. I love that woman. What were some of the others?
Um,
I know there was, what do you hope God will say at the pearly gates when you arrive?
all right. Yeah, you go first this time.
Oh, fuck. I don't remember. No, that's not
Oh,
what I want him to say.
what? There's what you want him to say, and there's what do you think he's gonna say, which is probably more interesting.
Right.
I expect it's gonna be so you're not on the list.
Let's see. Well, I figure everybody gets in, so.
Ah.
On the other hand, maybe not. Maybe I just want him to say, all of your boundaries will be enforced. Like, there are certain people I don't want to come bouncing up on me in the afterlife. Like, that would ruin shit. So, 10-foot rule should be intact.
St. Peter, here's my list of restraining orders.
Yeah. Just me to see these people from a distance.
None of these are on my cloud or on neighboring clouds.
It's the Rolling Stones song. Hey, you get off of my cloud. Or is that just in the Weird Al Yankovic version? That's fucked up. That was my first real introduction to the Rolling Stones, was the Weird Al Yankovic polka Rolling Stones medley.
Oh, Weird Al.
They did me wrong. I have all this Beatles knowledge, and then that's what you get for the other classics.
Weird Al, an unappreciated genius. He really is a very clever guy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He did a great, I got, a spell of listening to him when my boys were younger, and he did a great one with Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA called Party in the CIA. And it's so good. So clever.
Yeah, well, and some of his early, some of his breakout stuff was Michael Jackson, who really liked what he did with his songs.
Yes. Do you know what I remember being in? Well, I had to have either been in, I guess, like second grade, and walking along with this girl. So I was 7 years old, and she had a crush on Michael Jackson, and I never found him attractive. And I remember, like, we were talking about Edith, and me saying something about, I bet he thinks it's funny or whatever, and her saying, no, I don't think he thinks it's funny. I bet he cries every night about the Weird Al Yankovic making fun of him. And now I'm like, bitch, he gave him permission.
That's right.
Full permission.
Absolutely.
Like, Weird Al has always been straight up legit about it.
Now, did you ever listen to Dr. Demento?
I know they're coming to take me away, haha, but that's about it.
Yeah. So you didn't listen to the show ever?
No.
Was it around when
you're 41?
Oh, shut up! You just admitted that on air.
Yes, I did. I admitted that long ago.
Well, I'm not quite that old.
You asshole.
But I heard about this Demento guy.
Right, yeah. you heard.
I've been
My
meaning to.
grandfather is who introduced me to Dr. Demento.
Oh, great.
Ouch.
Hey.
No, not really. But still. Okay, go ahead. What about Dr. Demento?
I've been meaning to see if I can find a playlist or something of some of the really popular songs that I haven't heard in a couple of years.
Yeah. It's probably everything is on YouTube now, so I'm sure you can find
Right,
it.
exactly. I just have to. I can't remember some. Oh, I remember one. I remember was called "Your Ding-a-Ling."
Yeah, oh, My Dingling. I
My
remember My
ding-a-ling.
Dingling.
My
Yeah,
ding-a-ling.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
My Dingling. Did he do I've got a booger on my finger and it won't shake off? Because that might be my favorite.
Say that again. What was it?
I've got a booger on my finger and it won't shake off.
Quite possibly. There was also a dead skunk in the middle of the road.
Oh my God.
It's slowly starting to come back, some of those things. And so many of them had, were double entendres. The whole
Oh
songs
yeah.
were and hilarious stuff.
Yes. Oh well. So here's one I remember actually that was really funny, but it's seriously old. My dad played it for me when I was young. I think it's Mason Williams, unless Mason Williams was all instrumental. But anyway, it's called "The Prince and His Panties." And
Oh,
have you heard of it?
I think so.
The one about the dogs. And
Ooh.
he calls them his panties because they run around panting all the time. And all I remember is the last line of the song is, "And the prince got eaten by his panties." Now I have to go Google that.
And how did what is it, the Little River Band who did Mama's Got a Squeeze Box? How the hell did that ever
Ooh,
get played?
I've never heard that one, but it sounds so
What?
dirty.
Oh my God, it's horribly dirty, and it was a pop hit.
There are a lot of those, though. I mean, really, if you look back, there are a lot of songs that were way on up there where it's like, oh my God, that is just straight fucking song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
A lot. Well, and then you have, what was the one, Wake Up Little Susie, that they wouldn't let play because it was supposedly about, they said it was about falling asleep in a theater or something, but it was
No,
about
it was
falling asleep at his
after sex. Yeah.
Yeah, after sex, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Simon and Garfunkel, right?
Mm-hmm. What about him?
The
Me and Julio but that was Paul Simon and gay references. Cecilia was the
Cecilia
one
is the one I was thinking about.
Do you know I almost named my daughter Cecilia? And that's what everybody kept saying wasn't she a prostitute? I even put it in one of my books. I named a little girl Cecilia, and then had one of my characters say that. Wasn't she a prostitute? And the guy's like, no, the internet says she was just his girlfriend.
She was just a slut.
Loose morals. Yes, exactly.
See, it's not so bad.
She was just sexually liberated. Don't slut shame.
She was sexually open and in touch with her sexuality.
Everything.
And everything and everyone.
And he had expectations.
Unreasonable, obviously.
Clearly. I mean, he expected her to go more than 10 minutes between partners. Man thing.
I don't know. Was it? He just went and washed his face, for God's sake. Well,
right?
quote unquote face.
Right? Yeah, we know what he was washing up. Do you wait for the water to get warm when you're washing up after? Like, is that important?
Washing what?
You know. From there. Sorry, it's funny when I pretend like I can't take talk.
Yeah, you still can still pull up those innocent words when you need to.
Sometimes you gotta be able to play sweet. I
Um,
don't know.
regarding water temperature,
Personally,
regarding personal agreement, I find that water temperature is um it's fairly important, yeah. But less so if you're applying it your own self and you know what to expect.
yes, that's true.
So being
Makes you more
surprised by cold
ambiguity.
water or overly hot water,
Makes
not
you think
pleasant.
she's doing you a favor, and then woof. Oh dear me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Next
either
time,
direction.
it reminds me, you know, as everything reminds me of something. Um,
Yeah.
so my first thought was, that's a great way to get out of ever having to do that again.
I do it wrong, really, really
Really,
wrong.
really wrong, and then you
You,
never have to
you
do it again.
fucking men. That is always where your heads go. Look, I'm gonna do the dishwasher so wrong, and then I'm gonna dye all the clothes pink,
You
and
want to
then
hear
I'm
the
just gonna like
you want to hear the ultimate story about that though?
what?
From when I was a teenager, I met this man who was really old, like he was like in
Yeah.
his 30s. And he had a couple of kids, and he was saying how when his first when his first child was born, daughter, and they came home, and like the first or second night the baby was home. In the middle of the night, you know how babies get hungry and they need to be fed.
Yeah.
And he reaches
Yeah.
over and goes, "Honey, I'll get it this time." And so he goes downstairs, mixes a bottle, takes the baby, sets it in the middle of the living room floor, grabs a stack of phone books. Hey kids, remember phone books? Drops it next to the child, boom, which which makes a loud thumping sound and makes the baby cry.
Yeah.
Hides the phone books and stands there bleary-eyed holding the bottle while the baby's on the floor crying, and his wife comes downstairs. Give me that! You're never doing that again.
Setup.
Pro tip for you guys.
Yeah. Put the diapers on their heads too.
Well, that's obviously wrong.
Oh, yeah,
There's
no.
so many things you can't mess up. Oh, well, yeah, if you put, like, say, the disposable diaper on inside out, that would be a thing that would. What?
Oh, what's the problem? Why are they wet all over? You test me. Mm. All right.
All right.
I am gonna get off the phone because I need to go into Target and I need to buy a nonstick whisk, and I'm gonna look like a crazy person
You
as
need
I'm
to.
walking through
What are you
Target
buying?
talking to you. A nonstick whisk for my son for his birthday.
I didn't know they made such things.
Well, yeah,
I know
and
they
that
have.
way he can. What?
Well, I mean, I know whisks. I have like a half
Yeah.
dozen of them.
Well,
But what? Why do they need to be
so,
non-stick? I don't get it.
so that if he wants to make a pan sauce in a nonstick skillet, they're like silicone coated, so they don't
Oh,
scratch
scratch the
nonstick.
pan.
Yes.
I always use
And
them in steel bowls, so that's why I
he's
didn't get it.
really, oh, yeah, no, he's really into gravies and pan sauces lately, so I don't want to
Oh,
screw up the nonstick
oh my.
thing. Yes, that's my kid. He's like, teach me the perfect roux. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's not all that hard.
It's really not unless you're doing gumbo and you have to cook it for like 2 hours till it looks like coffee. But anyway, So I'm already looking like a crazy person talking on the phone to you. This is not
Well,
working out the way I planned.
I mean, it's not really all that different from any other day you're walking through Target.
It is actually, because I make really ridiculous faces at you when you talk.
And then you just burst out laughing in the middle of the aisle.
Exactly. Right?
Which really,
So
honestly, if you'd been going to Walmart, nobody would notice.
it's true. I made a poor choice. Look at that. Silicone
Sorry,
waist right there.
Walmart, you could still sponsor us
Walmart, where crazy people go.
to record
All right, this
podcasts.
one's oh, right. This is all silicone. I'm not sure. I guess.
I should let you go then.
Okay, yeah. I have to look at kitchen gadgets.
We'll
But
see.
let me know how it goes.
I will. This actually might be usable, with just a little bit editing.
Yes.
Editing.
Do the edit. Make
Okay,
sure you take out if I say people's names.
but you didn't use whole names. You didn't use last
Okay.
names, so
I don't think I used
so
any.
fuck them.
Well, nah. My best friend you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but let me know how it goes.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye, pumpkin.